One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to Soulcall Sunday. My name's Lisa Ferrero. We welcome you wherever you are in the world and on your spiritual path. Experiential spirituality is what we're about here at Soulcall Global. And it's listening to the calling of your soul to bring forth those soul qualities, those gifts that are uniquely yours. And even if it looks like something similar to what someone else is doing, there's still the way you do it that makes it uniquely special and uniquely your own. So we support that expression. And today, when we dive into the theme it's still July. Doesn't this feel like the longest countdown? It feels like it's been July for a long time. I'm not sure why that is. Huh? You're glad? Some people are glad. I don't know if you're glad or not, but it just feels like it's been July for a long time. But the theme for July is curiosity. And I was thinking about the theme for today in terms of as it matches the theme of curiosity for July. And I got to thinking about how to move from conceptions of the infinite to actual perceptions. So moving from conceptions to perceptions, and how curious, these master teachers had to be about how to reach that cosmic intelligence, or how to awaken the apparatus that's already in us to connect. And so today we're going to look at that. We're going to explore the ideas around, just some of the ideas around being more curious as to how you can create your own connection to the infinite without any intercessor, without anything in between. That's the purpose of life. And we'll each put meaning into the purpose of life in a different way, of course. But we're the ones that create that meaning. But the purpose is to keep that cosmic connection with vital source and to not get caught up in other people's ideas of what that is. Like, be careful where we put our energy, making sure that we stay in contact with our own soul's expression as we move through space-time continuum. So this morning we're going to start, as we start with every Soul Call Sunday, with a practice of Qigong, which is traditional Chinese medicine. One of, acupuncture and Qigong is pulling the energy that we walk through constantly, and just being more attuned, connecting body, mind, and spirit, and directing our will consciously with cosmic energy and pulling the light and charging our bodies with life force. So we're going to welcome via video, Helen Yee is going to take us through this opportunity this morning.
Our awareness inwards, feeling the subtle vibration of the energy within us, that Qi energy. We want to now strengthen that Qi energy through our mind's intention and thoughts. With the movement of our arms, we're going to float them up to shoulder height. Taking a breath, opening the lao gongs in the palms. Draw the Qi in, putting that mind's intention out there, but also the feeling of the Qi coming into the body, nourishing all of the cells, coming into the meridian channels and pathways, extending out, touching the universal cosmic energies that make up life force energy. Draw it in, feeling the fullness, feeling the lightness, and feeling the emotions and the feeling of positive chi extending out, bringing your wrist, relaxing, extending them parallel to the body, opening up the rib cage, opening the Lao Gungs in the center of the palms, drawing the chi in. Continue to feel the mind connecting to the thoughts, the thought of connecting to the chi, connecting to wellness, being brought into the body, extending out, bringing in the vitality, the strength of the energy, coming in, nourishing your cells, nourishing all the systems of your body, extending out again. Feel your powerfulness, feel the vibration, feel them vibrating to a higher frequency, drawing it in, pushing out one more time. Feel the expansiveness of your source, floating the arms down, and then bringing your arms up, touching all your fingers, balancing on the balls of your feet, and down on your heels, feeling the chi, the particles of chi, lifting them up, high above, connecting again, and directing that chi into the crown chakra and byway point, allowing your mind, your thoughts and your emotions and feelings to feel that good energy coming into the body, drawing it in, guiding it, feeling the fullness of all that chi energy absorbing into your eyes, your mouth, your throat, into your bone marrow, your cells, your ligaments, your joints, into your heart, your lungs, your liver, your stomach, your gallbladder, kidneys, pushing out any stagnations, feeling yourself filling with light.
This is a test. For the next 30 seconds, this station will be conducting a test, the emergency broadcast system. That's what it sounded like, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was just all that chi energy. We're all totally in the vibe, but it just stopped. All right, so we're going to take a moment to direct all that energy inward and allow ourselves to get in that space where we close our eyes. In the beginning, the curiosity that the great saints possessed was the idea of fully realizing whatever your concept of the infinite is. God is source. What is this thing called life? What is happening? And the most curious thing they were doing at the very beginning was closing their eyes. Close your eyes off from sensory input and things that are already in place to get to the source, which brought all these things forth. So in deep meditation, we're going to follow the breath. Just on the inhalation, mentally chant, I am. On the exhalation, you can mentally chant, that I am, that I am. Let the body breathe as if you are observing the body breathing from the outside. Just let it do what it wants, and you're following the breath. This I am, that I am on the exhalation. And enjoy this wonderful inspiration inspired by the poetry of Rumi. It's called Wide Blue Sky. You are the wide blue sky.
If you desire the self, get out of the self. Leave the shallow stream behind. If you desire the self, get out of the self. Flow into the river deep and wide. You are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't true. We can see it in your eyes. Turn with the stars above you.
All of these edits today are so abrupt, and I'm not ready for it. I have to say, that was not where that song ended. We went right back into it again, so I'm not sure what happened there. But you are the wide blue sky. Don't pretend it isn't true, even if you get cut off from the The fact of the matter is, we're never really cut off from the infinite, are we?
No.
You know, I love to say this because it was something one of the teachers from Self-Realization Fellowship brought forward once at one of the convocations many years ago. And this monk said, if you feel far away from God, guess who moved?
No.
It's like, you know, so it's our ideas, these concepts we have been conditioned. You know, I was talking with some developmental psychologists over the weekend. It's still the weekend, I guess it was yesterday. And we were talking about this idea of how early in the developmental stage of children, things get in there that are difficult to undo. Not impossible, but before we even realize the subtle cues children are taking in that start to kind of limit their experience of God. It's astounding. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. I love seeing kids, so depending on the where we are, the venue. I love seeing the children who just like come out of the car and just take off running. They feel safe in the world. They know that somebody is there keeping an eye on them. They know they're not going to get into trouble, but they also have that autonomy, that courage, that curiosity, which is the heart of a seeker, is the curiosity. You know, Natalia and I started a band, Seeker 7, and seeking the divine feminine, you know, and the magic of the 7 chakras, and, you know, seventh heaven and all this realization, divine realization. Well, where does it start to go from a conception to perception, from conception of God to the perception of God? One of the things I've said for decades now is do not wallow in a belief for too long, and be careful what you say you believe in, because if you have a belief about something, it is your duty, in fact, as a seeker, as a curiosity thrill seeker, to find it to be capital T truth, or it's not. So belief doesn't require a whole lot of will or exploration. I believe that, okay, either find out if it's true or not. If it's true and you're not experiencing it in the world, like I believe that all human beings are created equal. I believe that. When I look around, I don't see that that's the experience a lot of people are experiencing, and I'm not when I look at it. Do you? So then get busy with creating opportunities for others to actually feel that they are equal and that they have a right to be on the planet, just like I have, you have, we all have. That's your good and perfect work. And bring it forth from the language of your soul. Whatever that is your thing to do. And sometimes we come together and we're doing the same things. We're doing one thing together in a group. That's very important. You have to find like-minded, like-hearted, like-frequencied people tuning into the same frequency. That the highest pitch imaginable is beyond your imagination and can be felt in the soul, in the silence of your soul. In our silence, God's silence ceases. But that frequency can be felt as the divine frequency of love. It's in everything. It's inescapable. And you'll know it when you've got that peace in your heart, when you've got joy in the face of adversity, when you have courage to say, enough. Those of you who know me know I like to learn little snips of language, like phrases in other people's languages. And they're not necessarily like, may I have some more soup? They're things like, put it down or stop. Like on an airplane when somebody's going to be jamming a piece of luggage into, it used to be Eddie Guzz's guitar. I'd say, stop, or no, or do you know what I mean? How do you say, and then when I keep doing it, how do you say, stop already, But one of the things I was taught was like, punto y se acabó. In Spanish, that's it and that's final. Mm-hmm. Like, when do you say enough is enough? Enough with this. I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of being tempted by the things that don't serve me. Say to the infinite, don't tempt me with lesser things that I'm going to just try. I want you. I don't want anything else. Stop tempting me with, yeah, but if you don't meditate tonight, you could go get an ice cream cone and hang out. Stop doing that to me. God, I don't want those things. But you have to convince the infinite with the will and the dedication of the conviction of your spirit. Direct it like a volcano erupting with volition toward your goal, the sacred goal of divine realization. Don't be satisfied with lesser things. Don't do it. And that's the whole point. I remember somebody tried to change the prayer and lead us not into temptation. The Lord's Prayer. And this unity minister was saying, it's not lead us not. God would never lead you into temptation. Leave us not in temptation. And I thought that's a concept and that's fun, but that's not how it goes. Now, we do get tempted by the other creations of the world. It's all God. But seek the giver behind the gift, the doer behind all that is done. The energy with which we think, breathe, do anything, don't do anything. Get beyond the realm of subtle vibration and thought. Even if you're just thinking it, there's a vibration there. And you have to get beyond the thoughts in meditation to experience that high frequency. And then you charge it in yourselves. You just awaken it. It's not like you're bringing it in from the outside. It's already in there. And you'll start to feel it. You'll start to see things just get blown out of your way that were ideas, that were limitations, that are no longer limitations. Our ideas of how we do things or how something should be done. Here at Soulcall Global, this is a perfect opportunity for me to segue into how we're shifting here to become more like what Soulcall Global was designed to do, experiential spirituality. I'll still do talks, but we're not going to be doing this like once a week every Sunday. It's going to be shifting into opportunities to create mandalas, to go to workshops, to come out to the Dempsey Center to meditate, to chant with our kirtan group. We've been sprinkling these seeds. There are a lot of places that do Sunday morning, but we're not telling you you're going to hell, because you're not. So you don't have to join us. You're out in nature doing the things you want to do. And many of you are tuning into these later in the week or coming to the workshops because you want to experience it. So what I give you is a little shot in the arm, as Yogananda would say, a psychological push. We all need that. We all need people to say, it's important, from somebody who lives it. Like, so my life is completely dedicated to God. It always has been. I don't get tired doing the work of a million things. I love it. I've always been doing this. But what I would like mostly to do is to create opportunities to share more of the ideas and the thoughts and the fun of being curious about your own connection. You've got to feel it for yourself. We don't get it by proxy. You know, if I could sign a little piece of paper and say, you are now credentialed in consciousness, you have access to the cosmos. Great. And then you go home and you feel like,
I'll take the class.
crap. You would. And who wouldn't? If it were that simple, we would all be there already. Right? The thing is, you were already ordained in this consciousness. Ting, ting, ting. And we'll do some little ritual sometime just to let everybody remembering, a ritual of remembering. You know, we might do that at the Circle of Love gathering. I invite you to join us October 13th through the 15th. It is one of the reasons it's so popular is we've been doing it, now this will be our 22nd year for Circle of Love gathering. It's going to be at the Dempsey Event Center in Delaware, Ohio, not out the sticks, Delaware. It's like just beyond High Banks Park up north. The 13th through the 15th, you can register at Soulcall Global or circleoflovegathering.com. The reason it's so popular and has really replaced some of the other things that were out there is because it creates an experience of that love that is you. And it offers many different modalities for you to have the opportunity to feel who you are, to awaken, clear it all off, and then awaken yourself to the wonder, the curiosity, the exploration of your own soul's garden. You know, sometimes it starts off like, if you're like me, I remember in the late 1980s when I really took to the business of becoming more realized and trusting my gifts of intuition and expanding all of these things. It was kind of like hacking through a machete of consciousness through my mind. Wow. My mind was a jungle of stuff that, wow, I didn't put this stuff here. Jesus, you know, just Jesus, Buddha, you know, Krishna, there you are. Like finding all these different vibrations of humanity who came at different times to give the same message to a different group of people. So here we all are. I'm doing the same thing now in a different way. You know, I don't walk on water yet, but I don't have to. That's the thing. Don't wait. And don't let somebody tell you your gift isn't good until you are. No, it's good right now. Offer what you have every single day with a loving heart and just watch how it comes back, magnified, intensified. You just got to try it and just keep after it. And some of those days when it's really, really hard, those are the days sometimes the hardest, like the biggest chip is going to fall off. The biggest block needs to come off. You know, you get a bigger chisel and a bigger hammer. If you're a chiseled thou my life according to thy design. It's the most dangerous prayer you could ever pray. Because it'll start chiseling things off in a way that you don't really need, that might have been a bit of a, I don't even want to say a crutch, but just things that keep you from, keep me from, keep us from the thing itself. Like, what do we really need? We need God. We need that connection to source, whatever you call it. A lot of people like to sit around, and I've certainly sat in these circles, and mostly I'm quiet because I don't really care about it, arguing philosophies. I love philosophy because at the end game is its realization of the infinite. So I love it. What I'm saying is intellectuals who want to define and say which path is the best path. It's the one you're on. Sometimes the best path is no path. Sometimes the path is stillness, going within, and you realize it's all inside. So moving from conceptions, concepts, ideas or thoughts, and they're already here, this concept of God, to direct perception that you have divine experience, direct experience of the infinite. That's why we're here. And it coaxes you through the language of your heart. Whatever you love, do it. And don't be fooled by things like, I told you that story, I love ice cream. Ice cream is my path to the infinite. Even those kinds of things, if it's worldly only, it's not sustainable, and it's definitely not going to get you. Remember the story I told you a long time ago about the King's Castle? There was an ice cream store in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My friend and I in high school could eat copious amounts of ice cream, and we both played on the high school softball team. So over the summer, we began our training to eat what was called at this ice cream store a King's Castle. It was 8 scoops of ice cream in a big wooden tub, with like 5 toppings and 2 bananas and like, oh. So we went on a little trial run. We were in training. And we went to King's and we got our ice cream, but we split it. So we thought, like, you can't just run a marathon right off so we split a King's Castle, 4 scoops of ice cream. And usually you get a group of people sitting around and everybody has a little spoon. So the next week, the word spread through the summer and through all of our friends that we were going to be doing this thing. And if you did it, you get a pin that says, I ate the castle at King's. What an endeavor, and what we would do for small rewards back then. The pin meant everything. You could wear it probably for the rest of the summer. And so there we go. We show up, and the waitress comes over to our table and says, what would you like? And we said, we would like 2 King's Castles. And she goes, oh, you got some friends joining you. You might be. I'm like, no, we're going to eat them ourselves. She goes, you want 1 or do you want 2? Like, we would each like 1. And she's like, okay. So she walks away, writing down, wondering, like, what in the world? And moments later, a family filled in across the aisle, like with a little boy, maybe he was like 6. And next thing you know, the waitress comes over to our table, 1 King's Castle in front of my friend, 1 in front of me, and walks away. And I look over at the little boy and I thought, he's probably envious of us right now because we got all this ice cream. And he looks at us, looks at his parents and says, what pigs?
Wow.
So we were like, thanks for the inspiration. What do you do with that? And we got to the business of eating the ice cream. And as we're going along, we started negotiating the rules, as you would after you get past the 5th scoop of ice cream. There's like pineapple topping in there. And I realized I don't really care for candied walnut topping. Can we? Okay, we're each allowed to eliminate the topping of our disgust, So bottom line is, a long story short, is we each ate the whole thing, 2 bananas, 8 scoops of ice cream. And the point of the whole story is, even if you think you love a thing, as much as you love it, you will not. I didn't eat ice cream for the rest of the summer. I didn't want it for a very long time. No, I didn't get sick. Believe it or not, I didn't get sick. I don't know why. But the point there is, even if it's a thing you love, something of the world, whatever your worldly passion is, something you absolutely love to do, if you replace that with meditation and you start to have inspirations and realizations of the infinite, you cannot compare it. There's nothing compares with the real thing. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby, right? So don't settle for the things that tempt us, not leave us not in temptation. Lead us not. Please, infinite one. That's all it is. It's all God or it isn't, or goddess or infinite or divine, whatever you want to call it. Please strengthen my resolve, strengthen my willpower, my won't power, so that I am not knocked off the path of divine realization by these lesser things. Please don't let me screw it up. It's been my prayer for a long time. Like, don't let me get caught up in these lesser things, and help me to know the difference. That's serenity prayer. You know, what I can change, what I can't change, and to know the difference. It's not even about wanting to change anything, but what you're going to throw your whole heart and soul into needs to be of service in some way. And even if it goes away, you can rest your head on your pillow knowing I did the best I could for the reasons to be of service. I wasn't doing it for accolades. I wasn't doing it to please my ego or to make me look better or worse. In the eyes of God, I am love. And at the end of the day, that's what you can say to yourself. I do it for the God who sent me. I'm not always going to be popular, not always going to be famous. And it's not about the things of the world. I think of famous, popular, poor, rich, like every one of us is going to be wiped off the face of the earth at some point in our lives. The point called the end. And what we do in between to stay connected to where we're going, you know, is essential. And there's a particular way you can walk with confidence, knowing everything I do, I'm always trying to do it to please the thought of the infinite. That's it. And if I find I'm on the wrong path or it's just not working, it's okay to stop and do something else, you know? So here at Soulcall, you know, we launched during the pandemic, like the week after, we did a whole bunch of things. We're going to bring some of these things back. We're going to bring back Wisdom Wednesdays. We're going to do it at the Dempsey. Every Wednesday evening from 7 to 8, there'll be some form of meditation, whether it'll be singing bowls, silent meditation, kirtan. And that Wednesday is going to be like our Sunday. It's going to be more fellowship, more experiential type thing. And then in the mornings, maybe once a month, we're going to have those interviews with interesting people doing cool things. We're bringing that back. Wake Up with the Consciousness Cafe. So Wednesday is going to be that day. The newsletter is going to stay, and it's going to be a little different too, just highlighting all of the cool things we have going on for you to experience the infinite. So we'll let you know when this is all going to happen, but we're having a meeting. If you are interested in tuning in, there'll be information in next week's newsletter, probably not this week's newsletter. So just know that it's all excellent, and we're thrilled about this. We've been talking about this for quite some time, but I feel like the time has come since more people are ready to get out and do things together in groups again. So there's so much more ahead, and more in alignment with what Soulcall was designed to do when we set it up in 1999. It's been a long time. So Soulcall is going to party like it's 1999. You're going to be partying from the inside. So this book I keep holding, I'm getting much inspiration from. I pulled this book out before, and it's in the Sanctuary of the Soul. It's by Paramahansa Yogananda. And we're going to have this for sale out at the Dempsey Integrative Wellness Clinic out there at 130 Hyatts Road. Well, what is the right method? When the right method is applied, it scientifically bears results. So we're talking about the right method of meditation, connecting the infinite. To know exactly how and when to call, like pray, according to the nature of our needs, is what brings the desired results. When the proper method is applied, it sets in motion the proper laws of the infinite. The operation of these laws scientifically bears results. So from the magnetic strength of our heart, when we put it out in love, not as a desire, but know what your necessary needs are. How about that? Oh, I need, but don't put, it's good to visualize yourself in the feeling of having the thing you know you need. Leave a lot of space for the infinite though, because most of the time, it's been my experience anyway, the more exacting I get, the harder it is for the infinite because I've made it too small. When I leave it a little loose on the end, something even more fantastic than what I thought I wanted shows up. So again, going back to that prayer, you find a similar prayer in all faith traditions. Certainly the Hindus have the similar one, the opening it's called. But give us each day our daily bread. Give us that which we need daily. The Hindu philosophy has a similar one. Give us that daily which we need to sustain and to serve. So necessary needs. You could just say something like, I know that all things that I can see and not see are coming to me right now to fulfill this divine purpose. May I be open and intelligent to recognize the vibration of such things. These little simple things. Simplified, help me to see what's going to help me and what's not. Just say it in your own words, but mean it. Like trust, developing that trust in the things you can't see yet, that it's already done. Let it come to you like a timid pet. Do you know? Like the infinite, think of the infinite. You know, when I listened to Paramahansa Yogananda early on, he just had this concept of God as like a mighty mean, was so not with what I was always feeling it to be, because I didn't experience it that way. And he says the same thing. That's not it. It's like, think about the times we make promises to the infinite, and the infinite is shy. Like, should I give this all back, all my whole heart and soul, or are they just going to use me for my gifts again? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a very feeling. It's a very personal. It's not just an impersonal, or we wouldn't have feelings and connections at all. Like anything we're capable of, the infinite created. We didn't make up emotions or love. I mean, so get with like an animal that you can see, maybe a rescue. Maybe some of you are into pet rescues. The professionals will tell you, and people, you've got to coax them out. And you do that by allowing, you create a space of love that they feel and they'll take steps toward. The more love you can put into a space, the more they can open. Like you become the sun to a flower, it'll open and bend toward you. But the more you just want, oh, come on, it's all right. You might get your hand bitten, right? So search him out in silence, search her out in silence. My Lord, I want to see just you, just you. All I want is to see you in everything. My life gets better when I keep my focus on that and not the gifts. And I like the little gifts too. I'm not saying I don't. But what I'm saying is the gift of the infinite. There's no greater, there's nothing. Get busy. What else can you can have it. It's like, it's not only for a few people. It's like we can all have it. So why wouldn't we? I don't have that answer. I have no idea why we wouldn't be doing that. So Soulcall is going to be really diving in with more opportunities, the things that we found, and the people bringing us the things that we found who resonate to that frequency of love, who aren't doing it in pursuit of a look how great I am kind of a thing, more of a look how great you are kind of a thing. These are the people we're curating consciousness with around the globe. Circle of Love is going to be filled with people like that. So many different opportunities, good food. And I mentioned it'll be cookies and food. Laughter
and music.
Laughter and music. Meditation. Can you tell Kathy's a huge fan? She's been there several times. Then in this book, how did the saints first find the infinite? How did seekers first find God? As the beginning step, they closed their eyes to shut out immediate contact with the world and matter, material, so they could concentrate more fully on discovering the intelligence behind it. So I see matter. Where did this come from? How did this get here? Why? You'll only get those answers through the language of your soul, the language of your heart, in silence. You'll read books of other people trying to tell you how these things occur, but you can have it all. You could go to any library. In one lifetime, you'll never be able to read. In 10 lifetimes, I don't even know. If you read every single day and that's all you did, you'd never be able to read every book written. So don't get secondhand information. It's fun for inspiration. Like I certainly read some things, but I don't read as much anymore as I meditate. If it feels, the infinite will start lofting questions into your consciousness, and you'll know them by the shimmer. And it's that point, it will show you the book of the cosmos. This is the one you need to resonate with at the moment. It'll just feed it to you. You won't have to look anywhere. It'll give you the question and it'll give you the answer. If you look to the source for both things, recognize where it came from and allow yourself to receive information. Sit at the feet of the infinite. There is no greater guru on the planet or in the cosmos or any realm you can get to. And with that kind of consciousness, you can dial anyone out of the cosmos you want. Anyone you think who has been lost, they're never lost. They're not lost. We're the ones who cut ourselves off from the opportunity. So choose today to allow yourself to create an experience of get curious about the concept you have, give up the concept, and get into direct perception of the infinite for yourself. And the airplane route to that is meditation. So this Wednesday, out at the Dempsey Event Center in the sanctuary space, our Kirtan group will be there from 7 to 8. And we'll chant and then meditate, and then sing another little song and meditate, just to awaken that curiosity and the wisdom of the cells, to allow them to sprout, kind of take over everything else. Like, let that wisdom spread in our bodies and in our consciousness, to expand that. Where two or more are gathered in the name of the infinite, we spark change. So if you don't like the world you're living in, come together with like-minded, like-hearted people, meditate, raise a vibration, and just see how things change around us. See how they change around us. So we invite everyone, invite your friends. It's a love offering donation. So we accept your donations and we appreciate them, because that helps us to pay for the space. But don't let that keep you away. Your consciousness is more valuable on the planet everywhere you go. So with that, the global heart is a vision, Corazón Global, like one family, one people, one planet, one love, has been the theme of Soulcall Global. It will be the theme of Soulcall Global all the way through. So we're going to play this song in its entirety today, probably next week too. Please welcome yourself, welcome your heart into the global heart. Corazón Global.
Cascada de luna, cascada de sol, me baño de luz cristalina y cristalina me voy, cristalina me voy, cristalina me voy. Navego un mar estrellado, diluvio sideral. Abro el pecho infinito, de donde fluye el manantial, de donde fluye el manantial, de donde fluye el manantial. Abro el pecho y canto, abro el pecho y canto. Abro el pecho y canto, abro el pecho. Corazón global, corazón global, corazón global, corazón global, abriendo pecho, corazón global, corazón, corazón global, ábreme mi corazón global, este corazón me guía, este corazón me llama. Global heart, one family, one people, one planet, one love, 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 one family. One people, one planet, one love, one family, one
Welcome back. Yes, the global heart. I like that video when you could see all the lights coming on, connecting to other lights. That's us. The more lights like that, the circuitry of divine love is, illuminated, is realized, and shifts will start to happen. So don't panic when we see, I guess, things that are falling apart right now need to fall apart because something new is to emerge. The way we've been doing things doesn't seem to be working for a lot of people. So fear not. Fear is an idea. Love is real. So get with that and get busy with the language of your heart and mind and play. And we thank you for tuning into Soulcall Global. And we also thank you for your donations. September, we're going to be starting our food drive sometime in the middle of August, but in September, we're actually going to pick the day to pack up the bags of food and deliver it to people who are in need or experiencing food insecurity in a greater Columbus area and probably a little bit north in Powell and Delaware too. So thank you for your donations. No amount is too large or too small. We really appreciate it. And they are tax deductible. So we thank you for that. If you are in need of prayer or you know anyone else who is in need of prayer or healing of body, mind, and spirit, please send us an email at prayers@soulcallglobal.org. And we'll pray with you, for you, and just keep us apprised of how you're doing along the way. And if you need more prayer or if you need energy sent out in the form of Reiki or other forms of healing energy, we can do this for each other. And in fact, we will. So we thank you for the opportunity to connect with you and offer you our love. Also, speaking of offering of love, we've got so many things coming up. Once again, Circle of Love Gathering registration is open now. We're going to cut that opportunity off at 50 people. And it's starting to fill up already, which is very exciting. So if you plan on joining us October 13th through the 15th, Dr. Sandra Solano, this is either making sauce on Sunday or singing bowls, depending on what you're doing. Tibetan singing bowl. She's going to launch it on Friday night with an experience in Tibetan singing bowls. She's brilliant. Kathy Rausch will be there with the mandala. Gary Lynn Floyd, Natalia Zuckerman, Helen Yee. I'll be there. Reverend David Leonard. Who am I forgetting? Everybody. Everyone will be there. The Kindness Cafe will be catering lunch, and it's going to be amazing. So join us. Make sure you mark it off on your calendar. And we shifted our date, Jazz Up the Holidays. This is way down the road, but mark your calendars. Jazz Up the Holidays 20th anniversary and silent auction is going to be happening on December the 12th, Tuesday, 12/12/23 at the McConnell Arts Center. And registration tickets are going to go on sale probably in September. So enjoy the summer, but then, man, we're going to be in full on. And we are going to start thinking about what you might want to donate to the silent auction this year. Get those ideas in your brain hole, and we are happy to receive. We are ready to receive. That was so much fun last year. Lots of surprises and really cool things. This coming Saturday from 10 to 11:30 at the Dempsey Integrative Wellness Center, 130 Hyatt's Road, right across the street from the Dempsey. This Saturday, 10 to 11:30, it's Linda Coates' numerology workshop. She's already got about like 10 people signed up for that. So if you would like to know what your numbers mean, the stars might lie, but the numbers never do. You remember that? From I Feel Lucky? Is that a song? Mary Chapin Carpenter. Yeah. The stars might lie, but the numbers never do. She hit the lottery. I feel lucky. So find out what the numbers, the symbolic meaning, the vibration of your numbers. And you can register at soulcallglobal.org and have some fun with that. Also that day from noon to 4, there's a nice, huge, amazing open house at the Dempsey Integrative Wellness Center, 130 Hyatt's Road. Meet some of the yoginis who are going to be there offering yoga several times a week in the studio space, the healing arts practitioners, doctors, acupuncturists, massage therapists, Reiki, access bars, what else? Reflexology, tap dancing. No tap dancing. No juggling either. What is it? And mandalas. Right. There we go. So plan on being there. It's going to be food from the Kindness Cafe. You'll get to sample some of the delicious things we're going to be doing out there. So once again, it's from noon to 4 on Saturday, the 29th. And once again, this coming Wednesday, the 26th, our illustrious Kirtan group. We cannot wait to meditate and be in the space. This is going to be at 123 Hyatt's Road, Dempsey, in the atrium space. So be there and just for the wonderful experience of deep meditation with Kirtan chanting. It's just chanting, God reminding phrases, and then we sit in and let the mind plant that seed deeper and deeper and deeper into the subconscious. And as those spiritual thoughts and songs that are supercharged with divine love start planting deep, deep seeds in your subconscious mind, it kind of cauterizes all of the dead end thoughts you have. It just stops that and creates light and more connection where you had dead end thoughts. They can't exist in a brain with light. It's impossible. So join us. So I'm forgetting a million things because we got 100 million things going on, which is exciting. So we thank you for tuning into Soulcall Global. Please share us with your friends, like us on social media, follow us, join our YouTube channel. And remember, wherever you are on the planet, whatever is happening for you, with you, we are here and you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one